Hi everyone, welcome back to Cardvoyant. I'm Kris and I'm your Cardvoyant, and today I have something a little bit different for you. As you can see, obviously, I am just a voice in this video, and I have chosen to do that because I have some more Jacob information that I want to share with you, and I feel like it comes across really well when it's simply the words of Jacob on the screen. So it's especially different today because I am starting a series of questions that Jacob is going to be answering. These questions, or at least this question and perhaps the first few questions, will be ones that have been submitted to me or given to me by family and friends. This particular session is a little bit time sensitive, although I think the message is very far reaching. But it does have to do with the 4th of July this year. The question was, what is the energy of the America/Freedom 250 celebration? So either one, I just set it like that to my Jacob guides and let them go from there. I will say that this message was not at all what I was expecting, although really that shouldn't surprise me. But it did have a little bit of a different feel for me. And I really think that the different feel comes from the fact that I asked a specific question and they were answering very specifically the question that I presented to them. In many of the other sessions, and even in many of the Earth Energy book sessions, I simply sat down for a session and asked Jacob, what do we need to know? What would it be helpful for us to know? What would it be good for us to know in relation to the book or whatever section of the book I was working on at that time? And I've done that in other sessions as well, but it's only been in the previous Jacob Speaks video where I had 3 people asking questions. And then this video where I've asked very specific questions submitted not by myself, but by other people. So I'm going to go ahead and read this to you, but I do want you to know that I would like you to go ahead and submit questions if you have them. Now, this isn't personal. These aren't, I'm not asking for personal questions, but rather broader questions, spiritual questions, or specific time, date, place questions, things that you think other people might be interested in or things you've wondered about for a long time. You can do that on my website. There'll be information at the end as well for you to submit those questions, where to submit those questions. In the meantime, I'll read this to you. And if you do have personal questions, that's more of a personal reading kind of situation, where I will always use tarot, but very, very much integrate the messages of my own guides, your guides, and my Jacob guides as well. So with that, I want to read this to you. This was given to me on the 1st of July, so just yesterday, if you're watching this on the 2nd. But I did want to have it posted before the 4th. And again, the question, what is the energy around the 4th of July celebration known as America 250 or Freedom 250, depending on who is telling the tale? So, to bask in the sunlight of idealism, of a fictionalized narrative, is an attempt to live inside a romantic novel or Hollywood formula motion picture. That is to say, celebrations of this sort, and indeed many such acknowledgments of years rather than achievements, are an exercise in glad-handing and diversion. This is ever the case, and not particular to this marking of 250 years of the United States. For in bringing together the spectacle of celebration and choosing bits and pieces of an amalgamated history to celebrate, so much is lost as to render the recognition of time and place as nothing, nothingness. Consider an icicle held up to hold fast to and celebrate. Yet in the accumulated energy of acknowledgement, the warm fist of falsification, does the ice warm and melt and disappear into the ground not set apart as special or sacred, in terms you understand, but rather soil seeped in a truth left unearthed, with potential to change and heal left untended. There is great joy in celebration, and human beings as well as their soul selves love to celebrate and cherish all good and loving things and endeavors. Therefore, such anniversaries and special moments are ripe for celebration and acknowledgement, and rightly so. Yet do you, in this moment, see and come face to face with the culmination of a civilization, a society, that has chosen again and again to move toward fear instead of toward love and light. Of course, it goes without saying, this is not true in all things or in all areas. Yet do you now face a reckoning of sorts that is opening unhealed wounds that can no longer be buried. Thus the discordance, the unbalance of this year's milestone anniversary and the ongoing machinations of your current government and its many supporters, including many of your family and friends. For yes, there is love and honor and joy and innovation and beauty and humor and creativity of all kinds within the walls of your nation. But within the same grounds are violence and fear and oppression and cruelty and exclusion and hate and greed and anger. And no number of parties, nor cake, nor ice cream, nor fond retellings of historical highlights, nor fireworks in the sky above such a nation can heal the open and festering wounds that remain. Those who have taken away some of the stylized and sanitized celebrations meant to mark this 250th year have, in fact, brought into the light much of what you have sought to keep hidden. The icicle has melted. What now do you hold in your hands? The universe extends its love and joy to all, if you will but seize it. Yet there is no way to hold such love and joy and hope and curiosity and growth toward love and light when you continually seek to lay bare the openly cast aside. These things that provide only illusion, temporary reality, a dream of what was wanted, but never truly existed. This is the metaphor of the iron rod. Compare this idea, the loving universe, as the sturdy, ever-expanding, loving, nurturing, caring, hopeful, inclusive, and yes, joyous iron rod. While all fear-based lies and illusions shine and dance during a brief moment in the sun, yet dissolve, melt away, and re-enter the earth for a chance to reconfigure, rebuild, rebound, to something greater, more loving, more joyous, more caring, more accepting. This is indeed your opportunity to do the same. In watching the ice melt, you are being given the opportunity to take very direct correlation from people and events transpiring now to those same types of individuals and events again and again in varied times throughout your 250 years of history and beyond. For indeed these same things, when not unearthed, cleansed, healed, and forever cast aside, do in fact appear again and again and again. Therefore, celebrate with truth. Utilize this fantastical juxtaposition to change. Unearth your life, yourself, your soul. Bring to light that which needs to be acknowledged, understood, cleansed, healed, and cast aside. Heal old wounds. Embrace the idea of moving toward love and light. Then do so with passion and daring. For as each of you individually change yourself, so too do you change your families and workplaces and communities and governments both large and small. See this celebration as a metaphor, for indeed it is. See it as a gift, for indeed it is. Celebrate your life and your ability to create it in the way you desire. Then connect to your loving soul, your guides, and yes, the universe itself. We are here for you. We love you and ever offer loving support to help you see and heal, which is to say move toward love and light, which is to say align with love, which is to say the universe, of which you are an integral and loving part. Namaste. So that is the message, a very interesting and to me moving message. Again, something I didn't quite expect, but which makes so much sense and offers so much, I think, practical advice and ability to move forward in love and light. I did notice a few typos as I read this to you, so I hope you'll forgive me those. I just wanted to get this out quickly and only went over it a couple times, so I hope you can look past the typos in this message. And truly, I've heard again and again and again that we're not called upon to save the world, but as we move ourselves, kind of save ourselves in moving toward love and light, we actually do so. Because the cumulative energy, the cumulative movement is what takes our communities, lives, families, societies, countries, planet forward, what moves us forward toward love and light. So I hope this is helpful to you. Sincerely hope it makes sense to you. And again, if you have a question that you would like to submit for a future Jacob Speaks video, you can do so on my website, cardvoyant.com. So I will just say in closing, thank you for being here. Thank you for being interested in the Jacob material. And until next time, bye for now.